There are a lot of videos on how to approach a girl you don't know, but few people tell you that using very simple techniques, you can create situations where girls will pay attention to you and approach you on their own. In this video, we will reveal 16 techniques that will make girls do everything themselves, and you can get even more new acquaintances. Be sure to watch the whole thing, because we'll tell you about a bunch of places where girls will approach you, and at the end of the video, we'll share the main secrets to make all these techniques work. Let's go! We'll group all the techniques into blocks. Let's start with the easy stuff, and in the first block, we'll look at techniques related to appearance. It's not about looking 10 out of 10, but about some extra tricks. First point, clothes with symbols, images, or texts are the easiest way to draw attention. Let's divide prints into two types. The first is just a funny print, but I don't recommend using a print like "smile if you want me" so that you don't have to watch the petrified faces of passerby. It's enough for girls to just think, "Oh, cool t-shirt." Write your ideas for the caption in the comments. The second type is a print that represents a certain belonging. For example, a print of a music band that girls are familiar with. It'll be easier for them to notice you in a crowd and start a conversation. The second point is bold, bright, or stylish clothing. It can be branded outfits, unusual styles, vibrant colors, or just a nice suit. Based on ancient animal mechanisms, when someone dresses brightly and stands out, it's a sign of their high rank. In the wild, for example, a peacock spreads its tail. Considering that most guys still can't dress well, you'll look more favorable and get more attention. But you shouldn't go overboard with the look. Try to stay in line. Point number 3 is accessories, such as rings and other jewelry. It's recommended that you have a story for each of them. That is, a girl asks you, for example, about a pendant, and you should have a story about it already. And this story should either start a conversation or represent you properly. Understand the main principle. You need to simplify the task of complimenting you as much as possible. Imagine that a girl likes you, but she simply has nothing to catch on to. You're wearing completely plain gray clothes without any external features. Of course, having a catchy print or a cool suit doesn't guarantee that a girl will talk to you, so it's better to combine the suggestions from this video to increase their effectiveness. Later on in the video, you'll understand how to do this. In the second block, we'll pick situations where you need to be active and not necessarily in relation to girls. A simple example is sporting events. A classic story. You score a goal, they come up to you to congratulate you, you knock your opponent out, they come up to congratulate you. You join the volleyball team on the beach, they introduce themselves after the game. It sounds complicated, but sometimes it's easier and more useful than picking up girls in clubs. The fifth is the stage, or to be more precise, a performance on it. Stand-up, singing, acting, or any other performance. When a person performs on stage, they demonstrate courage. Even if it's obvious that they're nervous, it's seen as a sign of high status. Girls find this attractive. Moving on, public speaking. It's not quite the same as the stage. This is, for example, a lecture, a speech, a report at a conference. Similarly, people usually come up to you, ask questions, thank you, and get to know you. The seventh point is occasional leadership. You can take on a certain role or profession that involves people approaching you, asking you questions, or you being in charge of something. For example, yoga instructor, trainer, volunteer, tour guide, DJ, photographer, event host, and many others. The third block is also about activities, but this time about group ones. Number 8. Events of interest, where people are united by something and interact with each other. These are, for example, fans of certain sports teams, performers, book clubs, cosplay. For a meeting like this, you take something from the first block. For example, you put on a t-shirt with a themed print or a character costume, and people come up to you and say, "Oh, cool costume, can I take a picture with you?" The ninth point is networking. These events often take place in big cities. The entrance fee is affordable, and there are usually plenty of proactive girls there. You can make a lot of new contacts in a short time. Don't forget to combine this with tricks about your appearance. Then there are parties. It's quite difficult to go to a party and not meet anyone. If you want, you can even do a quest. Come and not try to meet anyone on purpose. I think it will not be that easy. Again, I remind you of the need to combine techniques. For example, you come to a party having prepared a small speech, or for example, you tell the newcomers what and how things work here, and let's say you're also better dressed than the other guys at the party. Number 11 is classes and trainings that involve group work. A good example is a foreign language conversation club. The 12th point is some kind of game activity in groups. Unlike sports, there's no need to try to impress anyone. It can be a bar quiz, a game of Mafia, or a board game night. The fourth block contains examples of situations that you need to direct yourself, but if you look at it, everything is simple. For example, the situation of waiting for something. People often strike up a conversation in line or when they're waiting for something together. A plane is delayed, passengers are outraged together. Waiting for a bus at a bus stop, they ask each other how is best to get to a certain point. In such situations, you can find many reasons to communicate with the girl you like. It won't look like an attempt to get acquainted, but the conversation that follows can develop into one. The 14th point is reaction. This is when a stranger reacts to your actions simply because they cannot do otherwise. Let's say you're passing a girl and you accidentally drop some money, either a small amount or even fake money. She picks it up and says, "Here, you lost it." And you can answer, "Oh, I lost a couple of bucks, but I found a lot more. I met an honest person." Boom, you've made an acquaintance. Number 15 is observation. Here, you are the first to say some words, but they'll be directed as if into a void. For example, at an exhibition, you see a pretty girl next to a painting, you approach the painting and say to yourself, "Yeah, and this is contemporary art? I could have painted better." The girl can react to this and engage in conversation. Or even simpler, the weather. You're waiting for the bus, you look at the sky and say, "Damn, what a rain." Again, you didn't make any approach, you didn't say anything to this particular girl, but she can react and start the communication. The following method is prohibited by all international conventions. I'm talking about cute animals, of course. You take a puppy, kitten, or someone else with you and walk around the park with them. People come up to you and say, "Oh, can I pet it?" And suddenly you're talking about something. By the way, it doesn't have to be an animal. I remember a story about a guy who dressed his little sister in an angel costume and took her to the park to collect coins from passers-by to buy a puppy. It turned out to be quite effective in terms of new acquaintances. To make things work, you need to follow certain principles. First, look friendly. A light half smile, eye contact with girls passing by. You appear to be open to communication. If you're always walking around looking serious and looking at your phone, it's clear that no one will approach you. Remember to make it as easy as possible for people around you to talk to you. Second, you need to be ready to communicate. That is, you can do everything perfectly and the girl will talk to you while you get confused, unable to answer anything meaningful, and that's it. The moment's lost. Therefore, you need to prepare several conversation scenarios. And the third principle is not to go overboard with your willingness to communicate. That is, you shouldn't annoy a girl if she starts talking to you. If you show a need to communicate, it can drive her away. Let the conversation flow no matter where it leads. What techniques would you add? Write in the comments. Watch our other videos, and good luck.